All right, so what we want to do first is talk about the 4 questions to ask. If you look on the top of your forms, you'll see the 4 questions lined out. Um, the first thing, obviously, you want to talk to people about is that, the first thing you want to say is, do you or somebody drinks coffee or tea at least occasionally? Not too many people only drink it occasionally. Those people that do drink it pretty regularly, and I'm sure that's probably the response you're going to get, is that, well, I pretty much drink it every day. Okay. And then the second question, quite frankly, is simple. It's how do you drink it? Do you drink it with just black? Do you add cream and sugar to it? Do you drink mocha? Do you drink lattes? What kind of coffee do you drink? And then ask them about their brand. Talk about what brand they like. A lot of people bring up Starbucks, which is a good thing because, again, where Starbucks has made it socially acceptable to to pay $5 for a cup of coffee. So that's where the excitement comes in. But even if it's Maxwell House or Folgers, just to get their opinion of what kind of coffee they drink best. The key phrase here is the fourth question, and that is, when was the last time the coffee that you drink, and obviously name whatever coffee they do say, paid you to drink their coffee? And pause. Don't say a word. At that point, that's a closing statement. Okay, and just wait for their reaction. And I can tell you from experience that I've never had anybody say 2 or 3 times or even once. It's pretty much never. And so that's when you break out your sachet at that particular point and hand it to them and say, this is the coffee that pays you. And what I'd like you to do at this particular time is here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to take this home. I want you to sample it and just tell me what you think. I mean, my wife and I, or myself, or whoever is now, we're in the coffee business, and we'd like to get your opinion on this particular product. And if you would take it home, try it out for us, and let me know what you think. I would greatly appreciate it. That's really all you're asking to do. It's a simple conversation. There's no salesmanship to it. People don't feel threatened by the conversation that you're trying to lead them into something uncomfortable. So really what it boils down to is just keeping it simple. It's a conversation. It's an icebreaker, and that's really what you want to keep it at that particular point. At that point, it's really continuing to practice that. It's doing the same things, those right things right each and every single time. There's a lot of people that do the right things wrong. A lot of people do the wrong things right. Unfortunately, you have to do the right things right and be consistent with those things in order to be successful. So continue to practice it. Do it with everybody that you meet, and you're going to see the rewards of it. Not everybody's going to agree to do it, and I'm going to tell you when you hand them the sachet, if they choose not to. If they say, no, I'd really rather not, because somehow they feel uncomfortable with it, whatever, maybe they don't like taking free things from people, who knows what their reasoning is. But whatever the reason is, if they say, no, I'd rather not, no problem at all. Just leave it alone. Just don't try to pound that into them, or try to say, hey, you really need to try this, or, trust me on this one, you're gonna just let it go. And we'll say, thank you very much for your time, no problem at all. Okay, but don't give them the sachet. This product costs money. We want to give it to people who are willing to at least taste it, to have an opportunity. So in this particular case, just take it back, thank them for their time, and move on. Okay. The key is not to get discouraged when that happens, because that's going to happen enough that it can get discouraging if you let it get to you. But really, what it boils down to is that no is the one before your first yes. So that's the way you got to look at it. Okay. That was not a failed opportunity. That was an opportunity to practice and get your comfort level to where it needs to be. So and get on to the next person that is going to be a yes. So the key is that once they take this particular product, say, look, I'd like to know what your opinion is. Can I get your name and number? If you don't already know it, I'll get your name and number and contact them back. The biggest failure with salesmanship, period, and I don't care what kind of business you're in, the biggest failure, period, is lack of follow-up. Okay? It is not the lack of effort in trying, it's the lack of follow-up. Most people, especially when they get in a product as exciting as Organo Gold, are going to get really excited about talking to people about the product. And that's really great. It's really cool that we have a product that's so easy to talk about. But the key is that you've got a lot of people that you're going to be seeing, and a lot of people that you're going to be talking to. You're probably going to be talking to 20, 30, 40 people a week in some cases. That's hard to keep on top of. Okay, so make sure you're writing these things down. Don't just, I know I talked to Sissy at work, or Tina at the mall, or whatever it was. Don't just say I talked to them. I'm going to remember this. I got to call them back next week. Don't do that. Okay, write them down, because you will lose track of them. Okay, so that follow-up is very simple. When you contact them back, whether it be in person or by telephone, ask them flat out, what did you taste the product first and foremost? Did you have a chance to do that? I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes we've called people a couple days later and they still haven't tried it yet. Their lives have been too busy. They haven't even taken the time to drink it yet. No problem. I'll call you back in a couple days. Okay. I don't encourage people to wait a long period of time. Okay. I can tell this from my experience in sales. Don't ever, give something, a proposal to somebody, or even in this particular circumstance, give somebody a sachet of coffee and then wait a week to contact them back. You want to get it while it's fresh on their mind. Usually when someone gets something free, they try it pretty quick. So when they get this coffee or tea sachet, they're going to usually try within 24 to 48 hours. So contact them back within 24 to 48 hours, okay? We want to get it when it's fresh on their mind, not when they did it 4 or 5 days ago, okay? So contact them back, and it's plain and simple. How did you like it, and how did it make you feel? How did it taste to you? And wait for the response. Again, salesmanship isn't about speaking; it's about listening. Okay, so once you've asked that question, you wait for their response. Believe it or not, most people, especially if they're outgoing people, they're going to give you a lot more than I liked it. They're going to really explain something. They're going to expound upon that experience. So whether or not it gave them energy, or whether or not it was they just enjoyed the taste of it, and you're going to get the occasion person that says I didn't like it, and that's okay. The whole point is that getting it out there and giving them the opportunity to experience it. Because they felt no pressure up until this point, they don't have any qualms about telling you about the experience, and so they're gonna open up to you 9 times out of 10 and explain to you how it did for them. Okay, once that happens, it's plain and simple. You've already told them that when was the last time your coffee paid you. They already know that this is the coffee that pays. So now that they've liked it, hey, you know what? I can get you some more. This is where it goes. Once after they've explained everything to you, obviously answer any questions that they may have in the process. Obviously, explain to them that you're happy that they enjoyed it. You're glad that it gave them energy and stuff like that. And don't make it complicated. Don't start going into the history of Ganoderma and stuff like that where it overcomplicates things. Encourage them to look it up. I mean, Googling Ganoderma will give you all kinds of information. So, and it's all good information. So there's plenty of opportunity for them to do their research if they want to do that. What the point is at this point is just to keep it simple. It is coffee. Okay. Let's talk about the coffee aspect of it. Okay. Cindy, I just want to let you know I can get you more. Would you rather pay wholesale for it, or would you rather pay retail? And then shut up. Okay, and I mean shut up because I say that because I cannot tell you how many times I've trained salespeople, and they get to that closing point, and then they keep talking. They wait. They give a little bit of a pause, and then they start talking again. Okay, I will tell you first and foremost, the person that speaks next loses. Okay, once that statement is made, the person that speaks next is the one that got sold. Okay, that works. That's 100% of the time. As I say, it's a rule of salesmanship. Once I say to you, Cindy, would you rather pay wholesale or retail? If I pause, I've had pauses where it seems like it was 20 minutes, and it was really only about 2 or 3. But 2 or 3 minutes of silence is deafening. Okay, but don't be discouraged by it. Just keep silent. I promise you, if you keep silent, the right answer will come out. Okay. I don't know if too many people are going to say retail, but you're going to get some people who are going to say retail. And if they say, you know what, I'll just pay retail, because at this point, now when you say would you rather pay wholesale or retail, people are kind of getting the hint that there's some purchasing involved with it, and so their defenses sometimes will go up. Okay, when that happens, some people will say retail just because they don't want to commit to anything, and they're non-committed, which is absolutely fine. We need retail customers too. Okay, but there's a way to get those retail customers converted too, and we'll talk about that later. But to get somebody to sign up as retail, if they say retail, if you say retail, no problem. Let me tell you how to do that, and then you lead them either to the Coffee Connoisseur website, or quite frankly, if you've got product with you can sell it to them right there on the spot and make your retail profit off of it. If they say wholesale, it's very simple, guys. If they say wholesale, write them up. That's when you pull out the application and start filling it out. As far as they're concerned, they are signing up to receive their coffee wholesale, and that's what you're doing. And the way I'm doing it is I am literally starting with the $49.95, leading it with the $49.95 to get them as a distributor so they can purchase the coffee wholesale. Okay. Now, once that form is completed, so they've got that, that's when I start talking about the product purchase. Okay. Because right now they're okay. Well, Cindy, for $49.95, I can get you signed up as a distributor. You can buy all your coffee wholesale and get the same price that I do. Okay, so instead of paying $1.13 a cup, you're only going to pay 70 cents a cup. Doesn't that make sense to you? and then wait for the head nod, which Cindy just gave me, so that's great. so once that happens, you've got the form filled out. They're already signed up as a distributor. Now it's just a matter of getting them in the business. Okay. Now this is the point where you can do it one of two ways. You can do it as what we like to do, Cindy, is we like to have partners, to join me. I like to have partners to join me in our distributorship to help you make money doing this. Remember I talked to you how this is the coffee that pays. Okay. To become a distributor to get paid for coffee, there's a little bit more involved with it. Now you can simply do this and just order it for yourself and enjoy the coffee at wholesale, but you can also turn around and resell that coffee like I did, and make a retail profit off of it. And plus, there's multiple other ways that you can make money as well, and I'll explain that to you in a minute. However, in order for us to do that, what we need to do is we need to get you started on getting some coffee in your inventory. Okay, and the way to do that is simple. We've got 3 options to make it easy for you. We have a gold pack, a silver pack, and a bronze pack. And I always like to talk about the one that you really want them to do first, which is the gold pack. Okay, because everybody knows gold is better than silver, and everybody knows silver is better than bronze. So let's just automatically assume that the customer is automatically inclined to hear the gold. So you're throwing that out there first. That's what we want to talk about. So let's talk about the gold pack first. This is for the people that are really excited about the business. They really want to make money off their coffee. Do you want to make money off your coffee, Cindy? Okay. Well, that being said, in order for you to become a successful business, you have to invest in your business. Okay. And in order for you to do that, you have to have a little inventory, right? Makes sense. Obviously, you can't sell coffee to people if you don't have any. Okay. That's where the gold pack comes involved. And then you go into the detail of what comes with the gold pack and the cost and so on and so forth. Okay. And then just at that point, you say, let's go ahead and get you started. Which one do you prefer to purchase at this particular time? And wait for their answer. They may not only be able to afford the silver or the bronze. Okay, but let them make that decision. You talk about all 3 particular products. Start with the one, emphasize the one that is the best option, which is the gold. Okay, but then talk about the silver or bronze also, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to focus completely on the gold, because then you'll have someone that can only afford the bronze that now feels uncomfortable about signing up because they feel too ashamed to say I can't afford $1,250. Mm-hmm. So we don't want those people to be left out. So those individuals need to have that explained to them, and then once that happens, ask them which one would you prefer. That's a closing statement, and then again, zip it and wait for the response. Once they do that, you write down which one they want to, and you transfer everything to the internet for them, and they're on board. It's that simple. Okay. So really, what you're basically the entire process is for one simple point: to get them to say whether they want it wholesale or retail. So that follow-up is absolutely necessary to make that happen. So the 4 points are real easy to remember. It's on your sheet there. Feel free to take those with you, but they're on the back office as well. But follow those 4 points. Get used to using them without the paper, and have those memorized so you can do them. Obviously, put it into your own words. You want to be comfortable with what you're saying. If it doesn't sound like it's your vocabulary, it's not going to feel real. But I will tell you, from 25 years in sales, there's no such thing as a successful non-canned pitch. Okay, when I use a successful salesperson always has a canned pitch. What that means, and you hear the people saying we don't like canned salesmen. Well, I'm sorry, but every good one is, because the fact of the matter is, somebody a whole lot smarter than me figured out how to properly ask somebody how to buy something, to convince someone to buy something, and they figured out what worked a long time ago. So I'm not reinventing the wheel. All I'm doing is reteaching the wheel. Like I used to tell my salespeople, I'm not about training you to reinvent the wheel. I'm just putting new tread on the tires. All I'm doing is getting you more grip. And that's basically what I do when I train people. I don't have anything new to add. All I do is focus on the basics and teach people to continue to apply those basics. I've never seen anybody that's not consistent with the basics that isn't successful. So just keep plugging along and you will be successful.